Big deal. Let me share. Hey guys. Okay, so this is our Tuesday morning mentor call. We're going to go over module 4 just very quickly with Deb Erickson. And we're actually, some of us are still in module 3. This is meant to go through slowly. The Success Center with Deb Erickson. It's all about mindset, and it's all about giving you the tools to handle everything that comes up in this type of business, honestly, in life. And it's not meant to be rushed through. So if you have to do module 1 3 times, do module 1 3 times. It is all about you and where you're at. But what happens is now that you've gone through it, not only do they repeat themselves quite a bit, you have the tools for when things come up. And so when things come up, you don't feel like, oh, this has never happened. What's going on? You think, oh, I recognize the thoughts coming in my head. I recognize that this is something that is going to happen. And now I have the tools. So module 3, if I go back to the modules real quick and show you guys as you go through, because some of you are just starting this. 1 is, hey, I'm new to network marketing. What do you do? What is this? And it's really giving you the worksheets and giving you a baseline, like recognizing your fears, recognizing your why, recognizing what is happening in our brains. And this is psychology, guys. This is not frou-frou. This is not just network marketing. Like, this is a psychologist, someone who has studied neuroscience for many, many years and giving her expertise. She does use oils, Deb Erickson. She does have an account with doTERRA, but she is not a wellness advocate. Like, she will never build. She has said that. This is her passion. She wants to help everyone who is doing this type of business. And so it does resonate throughout all fields. And what I've found is, even with my son is a highly anxious person. He gets in his own head. He has a lot of fears. And what we're learning is 99% of fears are false. They're fake. It's not even true or reality. And when we can recognize that and come to an awareness, we can stop that path, our mind, from spiraling out of control and lying to us. And that is exactly what we do in this business. We lie to ourselves about fear. And sometimes it's not even, we don't recognize the lies. We just recognize the tightness. Maybe we freeze. Maybe we run away. Maybe we can't pick up that phone call. Maybe we can't pick up the call to call people, the phone to call people, or whatever it is. There's so many different things that come up. And when we recognize them for what they are, we stop getting stuck. All right. So we went through 1, we went through 2, and 2 is our personal baggage is slowing me down, right? And so sometimes these little tools that she gives us are just affirmations, things that we're going to hear and memorize and say out loud. You can actually write them down, and then she gives you tools where you hold on to something and you're looking at your why, you're looking at your dream board, and you're telling those things, okay, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to do, and this is why. And then she even gives you something where you say, you even tell yourself, this is the goal today, right? You read out your goal, like, I'm going to call 10 people today, and you say it out loud. It takes 30 seconds once you get these tools down. And then it's so much more powerful than wondering in your mind, oh, I really don't want to. Oh, like that stress. And it's going to take all day, and I'm not going to call enough people. I've done it all. I promise. I've been there. So instead, we can say, okay, this is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to set a timer. I have 15 minutes and I'm going to call 5 people. They're not going to be on the phone all day, right? I have 2 minutes for each person, and I'm going to tell them that. That is so powerful. And guess what? 50% of the time, 50% of those people do not answer. So all of that was fear for no reason. So you're going to call them later. But it gives you those tools to have unstoppable confidence so you can get over your humps. Now, the third one is business growth. Why has it plateaued? So sometimes we get to points where we just feel like we're not moving, we're staying in the same place, we're just stuck, right? So it gives us new language. It tells us how your brain's working, and it tells you about your set point. So this is just a recap, right? Your set point is your comfort zone. She's going to explain that to you. And I don't want to go into all the details, but just remember you have a box. You live inside that box. Every single thing that's easy to you is inside that box. You get up, you drive to work, you make your breakfast, you cook your stuff, you call your friends, you talk to your family. That's easy. Anything outside of that is your fear. So fear is swimming all outside. And it's hard to get out because as soon as you go out, our bodies are triggered to think that we are running from a tiger, right? Out when we were cavemen, our bodies are like we see the saber-toothed lion and we're running away from it. Saber-toothed tiger, I don't know whatever it's called. You're running away from it. Our bodies, something in our brain instinctively has that through genetics. But it doesn't have to be that lion that we're running from. It can be anything that is outside of our comfort zone that causes our brain to have that same reaction. So it's all about recognizing it and saying, okay, I can do this, because that's fear, and fear's a liar, right? And then you get into your frozen. And the frozen is, I haven't even gone through it all. I listened to the call last night, but it's talking about there are several types of fear, and it talks about which one is controlling you. And then it talks about what is tapping and how can it help you. And then finger rolls and neurological tools about listening to things. And ultimately, you're not necessarily going to be using every single tool every day. You're actually going to figure out the one that works best for you. And I'll give you the same example that I told Abra just a minute ago. There was a woman on the call, and like tapping, she had done tapping lots of times. It never really felt like it was doing anything for her. And so this time she learned that finger roll, which she hadn't heard about. And not only did it help her because she felt less self-conscious doing it, she was able to connect with it and say the words that go along with it. And by the way, the words don't matter. It's the disconnect from the pathway that you're taking to fear. So if you need different words, create your own words. It's okay to do that. And then what she did was, these are little baby steps that we're learning. We're not experts, but she taught her son, who is a drug addict, her son who really struggles with anxiety and depression. She taught him the finger roll. And guess what they did? She talked to him about it. He was struggling, and they were just trying to find ways to help him naturally, because she said, you need to go get help. We need to get you some professional help. And the next day, which was yesterday, he called her and he was like, Mom, I did it. Like, he was feeling himself spiraling out of control into that anxiety. He's about to have an anxiety attack. Very common for him. He started to do the finger roll, and he immediately brought himself back. And it was the first time he ever was able to do that. He was so excited. He called her and he was like, I thought that you were crazy when you were starting all these oils. I thought that like this is just some weird thing she's getting into, but it's not weird, Mom. I used it and it's perfect, and it helped me so much. So it helps. It works. Okay. So I'm going to go through really quickly if there's a video. So last night when we were on Jen's call, I just had to go through the video because it wouldn't use the audio. But what I want to do is show you the finger roll, because we've talked about the tapping. That's in the other ones. Finger roll was new to this one. And let me just see how long it is. It's only 2 minutes. Okay. So let's listen to it.
I can start tool number 14. The tool name is finger roll.
Can you hear it?
This is one of my personal favorites because you can do it anytime, anywhere, and people don't even have to see you do it, but it boosts your confidence, your belief. It makes you feel more powerful, unstoppable. So I use it before I get on stage. I use it anytime I'm going to make a phone call, anytime I want to increase my energy around my confidence and belief in my abilities. So it's really simple. Let me teach you the affirmation that's going to go with it. You're going to say, I can, I will, I am, yes. Let's do it together. I can, I will, I am, yes. One more time. I can, I will, I am, yes. All right. Now, each statement, you're going to move your fingers around. You're actually just going to touch your fingers and roll them for different statements. So the first one is touch your thumb to your index finger. Doesn't matter right hand or left hand. Just touch it. It's kind of like the okay symbol when you give somebody an okay symbol. All right, when your fingers are touching, when your thumb's touching your index fingers, say, I can.
I can.
Good. All right, now move your thumb to the middle finger, and say, I will. Perfect. All right, now move your thumb to touch your ring finger and say, I am. Excellent. And now make a fist and say yes. Good. All right, one more time. I can, that's your thumb to your first finger. I will, thumb to your next finger. And then I am, that's your ring finger. And then a fist, yes. Perfect. Now we're going to roll it. We're going to do it fast. And we're going to be looking at your vision board the entire time we're using this physical anchor. So make sure you have your vision board ready. Okay, make sure that if you're using essential oils, my suggestion is ginger or bergamot or cassia, really powerful essence oils. You're going to be doing the finger roll, which is your physical anchor, but I want you to make sure that visually you are looking at your vision. Got it? Get everything together and let's get started. All right, let's do the finger roll together. Now,
so that's the first one that's showing you what it is. And the next one, she's probably going to talk more about what you're doing with you're focusing in. And so she, like, if there's a monetary goal, she's like, okay, well, look at your monetary goal, whatever your financial goal is on your board, and that's the one you're going to focus on. And she's going to talk you through that. And as weird as these sounded to me, I am already checking things off my dream board. Like, I looked back at my dream board and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that I was doing some of this stuff, right? And that is how powerful it is, because when you have a checklist, and how soothing is it to like check something off. Do you feel that, Abra, when you do that? Isn't that amazing? It feels so good. It's like you're accomplished. It feels like all the work you're doing is worth it. And knowing that it's just compounded. So the more you do things like this, the more you put forth effort, the more you have a plan, the more it's going to come into real fruition. And these tools are going to help you do that. I won't make you guys listen to the next one. I really want that to be your own center, your time. It's all here for you. I Can Institute. And as a matter of fact, I've had a couple people say, I have trouble getting back in. I did too, because when you go in, you can like log in right at the top up here. Can you guys see that? Can you see that, Abra? It's like I Can Institute blue. What do you see?
It may be because you're, wait, where am I going? Where am I looking?
On my screen. And are you,
Yeah.
let me stop share and I'll share back.
Okay.
Okay, so here, I'm just gonna show you how to log back in. You do the same thing on your phone. Now, can you see it?
Oh yeah, there.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. So when you go on your phone, or when you go to I Can Institute, if you go to log in, that's like to the whole thing, which is what I was doing. And it kept messing up. It would not let me look at anything. So then I had to go to memberships, or if on your phone, when you go down, you're looking to the side, there's like the 3 lines, you click it, you go down. Sorry about that. And then there's the big cat jumping. Then you go to Success Center. Just remember Success Center. Success Center is where we log in, because that is the membership that we have for free. And so we go to the Success Center, and then I'm already logged in, but then it tells you at the bottom, do you want to log in or do you want to create an account? And so you go to log in, and then you go to modules. So I'm already logged in. Go to Success Center, and then you're going to go to, I'm already logged, it says logged in, right? So I'm already here. So it pulls up my modules. Okay. And so right here, I can choose whatever module I want to work on, and remember to hit finished after every lesson so you can keep track of where you're at. And you'll see that each one has worksheets, and you're going to print those out, get a 3-ring binder, because you're going to repeat them, but you want to look at your progress prior. So that's this one. Now, that's all about this. So let me stop sharing. For the last part, we can talk about anything you want, Albert. We can actually, I want to go over Power of 3 real quick, since we have like 15 minutes before the call is supposed to end. But I want to talk about a couple ideas that I want to toss about. And I know some of you will be watching the replay, so I want to talk about this. Coming up with themes for the days. Something that we can get in a habit to and get used to for the week, because remember I told you I want to do the Zoom calls that are for the whole team, that are just continuing education, so we can start offering that to the people who really aren't Facebook savvy, the people who just don't get it, they don't come into oil camp much. They're not really into the community, but if they came to those 8 continuing education classes, like Essential Oils 101, skincare, we have the PDFs where you can go through the slideshows and talk about those. And it's just going to do a couple things. It's going to help them learn about the product, help them feel comfortable, get them into the Zoom call. And so we're chatting together. And it's also every single time we do in a continuing education, we talk about LRP, and that's going to give them 8 touches to LRP to help them to really get in there. So you may find people that are on your team, and this is the people you're going to reach out to who had an account, never really engaged, don't really have time to come back to a class a lot, and say, I created this for you. You're busy. I've created this for the busy people who can't make it to a class all the time, but they still want to learn more. They want to be able to take care of their families with healthy natural options. And so we might call it Taco Tuesday. Let's talk about oils on Tuesday. Oh yeah, I know, I'm so smart. Anyways, I'm teasing, but I got the idea elsewhere. Taco Tuesday, or Wellness Wednesdays, or Financial Freedom Fridays, something to this effort where we do all our business stuff on Fridays and all of our stuff on a Wednesday or Tuesday. And I don't think it's just once a month, guys. I don't think it needs to be every single week. But these are also themes that you can do. Say we do Taco Tuesday. Every Tuesday, you get into your own personal Facebook group, and that is the day you do Taco Tuesday. You're going to talk about oils. Or Wednesdays, you're going to do Wellness Wednesdays. You're going to talk about whatever it is for 15 minutes in that group. It doesn't have to be long. As a matter of fact, 11 to 18 minutes. Can you see this cat on the top of my refrigerator? Can you see him?
Yeah.
What is he doing?
Claiming it as his own.
It's very high.
He's athletic.
He's very athletic. I think he's trying to get my cuckoo clock. That is dead. It needs batteries. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Got distracted with that. So the whole idea is, what I found is I've never been super consistent. I'm consistent because I get on, right? But I feel like people don't understand exactly what I'm doing because I'm just getting on there. But if we have a structure and you're pretty consistent, not only can we put it in our calendars, and you're live in your group, Patty's live in her group, Kelly's live in her group, and you have a minute, it doesn't matter. We don't even have to have it the exact same day. But if you just say, this is when we're doing it, not only can I write that in my calendar and try to be there for you and comment when you're on, I can, it creates something that our people can hang on to. So you guys have to come back to me with that, with what your ideas are. What do you think would work best? I can do anything, but we only have so much time, so we can't do everything. Like, we can do anything, we just can't do everything. And I don't want it to be everything. I want it to be the least amount of time as possible that you're putting your efforts toward this, but it's productive time. Okay, that's my goal for us as a team, to come up with it together. Now let's talk about Power of 3. Okay, so we talk about this sometimes, but we're getting close to the middle of the month, and we want to always come back to this, especially towards the middle of the month, so we're not scrambling at the end of the month. And quite possibly, I think this happened to someone last month where they were like $40 from getting the $250, but they didn't have time to connect with the person to help them order 40 more or even buy in at that part. Like, we aren't going to buy in largely, like, especially not for a 50 Power of 3. But 250 Power of 3, if you spend $35 to get one extra oil that you might have needed to get another $210, that might be worth it to you, and that's up to you. When it comes to 1,500, normally our 1,500 goes through and we don't have a problem. But every once in a while, there's one person that, you know what, the average person in doTERRA, every 3 months, they order 100 PV or over. Most of the time, they're going to do right around that, right? Because they're not doing the business, so they're not even thinking about that. So they're not trained to do 100 PV. So we had someone who did 53 or 83 PV. It was 83 PV. And then they needed to get 12 more or 15, 17, I don't remember. You do the math. Um, 17 more dollars. So in order for us to get our 1500, they don't know, they're not thinking about that. So I had to shoot out a text 3 days before and was like, hey, if you don't need anything else, awesome. I'm no pressure, but 100 PV is where our bonuses are made. And if you do 100 PV, it just has to add up to 100 PV. Then it will be really awesome. So if you don't, I will buy a lavender touch. Do you mind ordering that for me? And so just depending on the relationship that you have, this is why relationships are super important, because she was like, yes, I'll totally do that for you. Ordered it. She's like, actually, I need this. And so she bought something. I didn't have to buy in. I just had to let her know how important it was to me. And I was willing to help her out. And so she did it. And then we got our 1500. So that was stressful, right? But we don't have to stress out when we're prepared for that. Okay. So how does it work? Every single time I enroll someone, I'm like, hey, as you start to love these oils, it's inevitable that you're going to have friends that you're talking to that are going to need oils and love oils. And as you help them get their own account, you're going to start getting a $50 bonus every month. doTERRA designs it so that you can have basically be debt free and start getting your oils for free. They design it for every single person to be able to do that. So that sets up their mind to know that there's financial gain possibility. They can earn their oils for free, because who doesn't want that, right? When I do the overview, 90% of the people tell me, I just want to get my oils for free, right? It's okay for them to start there. And as a matter of fact, 85% of our business will be customers. And if we can get them to be sharers, that is fantastic, because a little sharer group, a little group of family and friends who love oils together are solid. They are going to use oils forever, because they're texting each other in the middle of the night. So-and-so has this. What do I do? What did you do? Hey, last week when you had that headache, what oil did you use? You're creating that for people. That is our whole purpose, is to create those mini little pockets of people who love on each other, and they're their little family and friend group. So if we can get them to be really enthusiastic, how do we do that? We're their best friend for 3 months, okay? We want to be their best friend. We want to open the oils with them. We want to talk with them. We want to be friends with them and get them loving those oils and getting wow moments right away. Get them plugged into Oil Camp. And if they aren't on Oil Camp, I have Enroll Pro, which I can set them up an email account thing. It comes from me, so it comes from Crystal Clear Oilers, but you just tell them, hey, we're setting you up in this email campaign. It's coming from our team. Just call it your team, whatever, and we have this for you, okay? But you have to give me their information, or I won't know that they want to be in that, because I don't send that to everyone. I think it has text option too. Okay, now the last thing, I know Kelly really wanted me to talk about this, and we have like 2 minutes left, and then we can do questions. We were talking about, what do we do when we call people? Like, what do you say when you call people? And I was going through, I've had actually a super bad headache all night. Last night, woke up with it. So I'm a little bit off right now with trying to remember everything she said. But when we were talking, she struggles with, and I have definitely struggled with this. So if you're here, don't think you're not alone. You're not alone. Picking up that phone, and then sometimes it is, we text them and they don't really respond, right? And so this is what I'll do initially. This is like my initial. And so I have my long list of people that I've never, haven't gotten back with. And I'll just say, hey, I actually physically call them. And I would say about 10% of the time they actually answer. Most people monitor their calls and they're not going to answer it if they don't know the people. And so I will actually call, it'll go to voicemail. I'll say, hey, this is Crystal. I just want to touch base with you. I'm actually going to text you so that you know this is me, so you can answer next time. Bam, hang up. Then I'm going to, because it'll bing that they got a voicemail. If they're like me, their voicemail is full and they don't ever answer it. Don't leave me a voicemail. Then I text them immediately after I call, and I say, hey, I just called. This is Crystal Mason Cup. I am so excited that you got your oils, but I have a quick question. Could you call me back? That's it. Then they call back or they'll text me back and say, can I call you later? And I'll actually text them back and say, yes, I actually have tonight after 5 or tomorrow morning. Which one works better for you? And then they'll say, can it be after 5? Because I get off at 6. And I'll say, yes, does 6:30 work? Okay. I am like pinning down the second that they expect the call from me, because when I do a random thing, two things: I forget to call, and then they don't know when I'm going to call, so they don't care. Okay. I want them to care that I'm going to call. So I'm writing that down like in my notes: 6 o'clock, this is when we're talking. 6:30, this is when I'm talking. Now, what about when I talk to them on the phone? So I call them, and this is their initial, right? This is their, you haven't talked to them since they got their oils, and they have been pretty elusive, right? And they don't really haven't wanted to talk to you. Guess what? Don't take it personal. They're busy. Oils are not the first thing on their mind. They're the first thing on our mind. We have to try to remember that, because that's the majority of people, right? We want them to start learning it. I just say, hey, now you know this is a good time for them, okay? Normally, if I got them on the phone, that first 10% of the people, I don't start talking their ear off. I say, hey, I just have 2 minutes, but I wanted to connect with you and set up a time so that we can go over these oils, because I don't like to leave any dusty bottles in homes. And my whole purpose is to help you understand these so that you can really feel empowered as soon as anything comes up. And it just takes 15 to 20 minutes. What time is the best time of the day to call for this? Would it be morning or afternoon? And then they give me that, and then we pin down a time. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, once you get them on the phone and you're at your actual appointment, this is when you're going to go through the Live Guide. You're going to have that open. If you haven't gotten to them yet, then you're going to actually just email them or text them the graphic and go over it together. So they can put you on speaker and they can look at their phone the same time you're going through it, have a notebook and a pen ready, and say, hey, what I normally do is I suggest that people get a 3-ring binder, and they call it their doTERRA binder. And then they're going to start printing things out. Get them into a Facebook group, get them a recipe sheet of some sort so that they have things to go to, like the I have my oils, now what? Because they'll say, hey, what about allergies? Or as I'm helping them make roller balls during that call, I try to do 5 with them. I try to help them do like a seasonal threat one, a sleep one, a digestive one, a pain one, and a stress one. Okay. It's like stress, anxiety, or if they deal with headaches, whatever's personal to them. I'm helping them open their bottles and drip it in. Okay. This is important. So when I enroll people, I try hard to get them to get roller bottles and coconut oil, because if they don't, they can't roll right away. Right. And I'm not going to always be present with them. If you can do a Zoom call, great. But go over through that Live Guide, talk to them about that, set up a time to talk to them about what doTERRA can offer them. That's the business overview. It can be 10 minutes, but you need to go over that with them. If they're willing to do it, that call, do it. And then the last thing is that Live Guide. You're helping them set up a daily routine. If they don't know that the oils need to look like they threw up over their house, they're not oiling right. Okay. Oils by the bed, oils in the kitchen, oils by the sink, oils in the bathroom, wherever they need them, you need to guide them for that. And then talk about their top 3 concerns and get a wellness plan. And so my favorite thing to do is give them the Dr. Hill sheets, and it already tells them morning, afternoon, night, and bedtime. It gives them a routine, right? I have that file that says, it's in, if you guys don't have it, let me know, but it has like the spreadsheet or the trifold that has, hey, I have my oils and wellness is scheduled. On the very back is a 30-day checklist. One side has the LRP information. The one side has the um, everything you need to do every single day. So morning, afternoon, it has like yarrow palm on it, balance, frankincense, things like that, Terrazyme, probiotics, and lifelong vitality. So some 30-day routine. And if they don't have vitamins, you're going to guide them through an oil routine. Okay, you know yours, repeat it. Make sense? It's a lot of information like that I'm saying, but it actually is it takes them tell them, if you have a 1-minute routine in the morning and a 1-minute routine at night, are you willing to do that to feel better in the next 30 days? It takes 1 minute to put our oils on, right? And if you don't have oils in your pocketbook, you aren't going to use them. Okay. So last thing, before questions, last night in the call with Natalie, someone said, well, I have a really hard problem because I don't believe, like I know and I believe in the oils, but I have a hard time like I'm scared to share with others because I have this doubt and this fear in my mind that they aren't going to work for them, that they might not work. Like what I suggest might not work. Have you ever felt that?
Not really.
Okay.
Because I tell them that oils are different. They work different on everybody. So if one doesn't work, we'll try something else.
Perfect answer. Like there is not a better answer than that. That is exactly what Elise Chedevy says. That is exactly what we're taught is oils are like medicine, like this. Our bodies are different. Everybody's body is different. Everybody's body is going to respond differently to a medication. And so if one doesn't work for you, you don't just give up, right? You don't give up on medicine. You're going to go and work with your doctor and find one that works. But instead, we're going to try with oil. So if you're a patient, if that lavender doesn't help you sleep and be calm the way you would like, we're going to help you find the one that helps you the most. If you're patient, I'm going to be patient with you. Sound good? And that's it. You've given them those options. And then talking about sensitivity and they might have an allergy. You know what? If someone has a sensitivity, be like, oh, that is all right. It happens sometimes. It is almost impossible to be allergic to essential oil, but sometimes people are sensitive, and that usually means we need to detox. So let's talk about that. So give them validity, help them work through it. Don't freak out. There's always an option, right? That's it. So Abra, that was perfect. Like that is exactly what I was going to tell, because last night they didn't have that answer. And if they had been listening to the calls, they would have had that answer. Okay. All right. Now, any other questions or things that you're dealing with that you'd like to go over?
I think I'm good. I think.
Okay. Power of three. Any questions about power of three or how you get paid, or I can kind of give you the scenario. There, something happened recently where someone had 98 PV in their cart and they didn't order 100. They ordered 98. And so at the end of the month, they had 98 PV in their cart and they had ordered 98. Well, they enrolled 2 people. Do you think they got paid?
No.
They did not get paid. She called and doTERRA said there are 3 things you have to do in order to get paid, right? So they have to enroll them, they have to have 100 PV in their cart, and they have to spend 100 PV. If she had done 2 of those, they would have waived it. Like she did one, she enrolled. They would have backtracked it and figured it out. They couldn't do it. And she was very, very, very upset. But was it doTERRA's fault?
No. It's
not, but it's still a hard thing to have to learn. It's a hard lesson to learn. So if we can help our people to get there, I had to answer that in a second. If we can help our people get to that and remember that, and that's why it's important to go over the business overview, because even if they never want to do this person told me they never want to do the business. Guess what? They decided to help some friends. Everybody has friends. They got to know to have that 100 PV in there and spend it.
Right.
Okay. And so some people say, I thought you don't have to spend it. If we're going into a business expecting to spend nothing, then we have the wrong mentality. We got to know that it's a business and there has to be an investment in that. Okay. All right. That's it. We'll talk again next Tuesday. We do have Jen's call, and that's going over the Elise Chedevy stuff. And it's Wednesday nights, and that we're going to finish that out. And Jen would like to continue collaborating on team calls, and I will talk to each of you about this. All right. So I'm excited about it. You guys enjoy your week. This is a great week. If you're nervous about finishing out this month, get out your list and start calling and texting. That's hard to do. Get out your Deb Ericksons. You got this. All right. I'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.